So Victor Wembanyama, the guy is easily one of the greatest prospects of all time. A lot of people think the guy is going to be a future MVP. A lot of people had him in the top 10 players in the NBA this season, and I'm not going to lie, I'm one of those people. Do I think he still has a chance to be a top 10 player in the NBA? Yes, because I just think the fact that he impacts every bit of the game, like he impacts every little bit of the basketball game, which is rare on both ends of the floor, and he's just so tall that he just impacts it. You have to game plan for him. But today was a struggle. Before we get on to, if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. We are trying to hit 1,500 subscribers as soon as possible. Not going to hit it today, obviously, but that would be insane. Goal is to get to like 2K by the end of this month, and then 2K by the end of this month, and then 5K by the end of November. But anyway, we got to talk a little bit about Victor Wembanyama's first game. And first of all, I don't care how many rebounds he had. For all of you guys that bet the over-under on Victor Wembanyama's rebounds, and apparently they started taking rebounds off him. Apparently he had 11, they gave him 9. They gave him 10, they took 1 away. The Spurs tweeted at 10 rebounds, I don't care. The reality of the situation is Victor Wembanyama shot 5 of 18 from the field and 1 of 8 from 3. And that's the one thing I'm like when it comes to Wemby, is that I do think he settles a little bit too much for the jump shots. Like, he's trying to be KD and he's not quite KD. Like, he wasn't that good a three-point shooter in France. Like, he was a great three-point shooter for a 7'7" dude. Like, I've seen the guy. We've seen the guy beside guys that are supposedly 7'1", 7'2". Guys about 7'6". He's an unbelievable shooter for that size. He's not an unbelievable shooter. And I understand, obviously, shooting some threes, but, like, when you go 1 of 8 from 3 and they're half your three-point attempts, half your shot attempts are threes, and, like, Champagny ends up being the top scorer for your team, it's not great. Victor Wembanyama ended the game with a almost team worst -20 on the floor. That is not good either. And, again, only 1 block to 4 turnovers. He had 1 assist, 4 turnovers, which, again, he'll turn the ball over a little bit, but not a good first game. Look, is this, like, time to overreact? Not really. Like we saw in the Olympics, and if you've watched Victor Wembanyama, he does have quiet games. He's not going to be somebody that will give you 30 every single night. He's not your Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Mr. 31 points. As in, every time you looked at the box score, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander would score between 29 and like 33 points. Now, Wemby's going to have some hot games. He's going to have some cold games. I don't like, again, the settling, but they played a good team. Like, Derek Lively's not an easy matchup for him. And by the way, Derek Lively hooped today. But Lively's not an easy matchup because, Lively's 7'1". He's 5 inches smaller than Wemby, but still, the guy is 7'1". He's strong, he's athletic, he's mobile, he's got good length. And unfortunately, this was one of those games where Victor Wembanyama tried to beat Kevin Durant. Like, that's just the reality of it all, is that he did try. He spent his game trying to be Kevin Durant, when the reality is he's got to be like, I think he's got to just attack a little bit more, because he's not quite a good enough offensive player to be a Kevin Durant, but at the same time, he's not a post-up player. He's something in between. And really, it was, I think, just like, it was a first game of the season. I think sometimes, especially when you've been playing in an Olympic setting, and they prep, like, look, France prepped a lot more than America did. You're used to different rules and you're used to a lot of different things, and it can be hard your first couple of games. So, will he have a bit of a sophomore slump? I doubt it. I really, really doubt Victor Wembanyama has a sophomore slump. Like, I know a lot of people are saying, oh, there's no way. Like, of course he's going to have a sophomore slump. And, like, if he does, then fair enough. Fair enough. Like, it'll be a bad thing for the NBA if Victor Wembanyama has a sophomore slump, because with the PR that Wemby has, like, one of the greatest of all time. And the reason why I think the players are so high on him is that if you know anything about, like, the way players talk, the way players rate players is the reason why Carmelo Anthony, a lot of players will tell you Carmelo Anthony's a better scorer than LeBron James, because he can do more. When you're guarding Carmelo Anthony, you don't know what's happening. He makes you change the way you play defense. Where with LeBron James, you're like, you know he's going straight through you, you know he's attacking you, and like you could know what LeBron's doing, and he could give you 30. But if Carmelo Anthony gave you 26, it would feel like the 26 was louder from Carmelo Anthony because he did it in a whole bunch of different ways and you just felt helpless. And that's the way players feel like with Wembanyama. When he pulls up in their face, you feel helpless. When Wemby is on defense, you feel helpless. Like you're just scared. Like I wonder if they had a stat for like hell no's. Whereas like when you drive to the basket and you see Wembanyama there and just decide, nah, we're not doing this. 4-on-1 and Wemby's in the middle, we're shooting that 3-pointer. But yeah, like look, it's game 1. And I think the pressure that's been on Wembanyama means that obviously every game's going to be under a microscope. Like we've seen it, like again, I've freaking WNBA channel. We saw it with the likes of a Caitlin Clark. We're seeing it like we'll see it with players. And the reality is it was just one bad game. He was horrendous in the first half. He was better in the second half. I do have to say he was better in the second half, but things need to get a little bit better. Like his shot selection didn't look great. It really didn't look great. His shot didn't look great in general. Defensively, look, he's Victor Wembanyama. He's gonna, even if he's not blocking shots, he's gonna affect the defensive end. And yeah, he's still almost certainly going to be one of the greatest ever, barring injuries, because he's 7'6" demon. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think that there's a chance that we see a sophomore slump from Wemby? Because if you were asking me to how confident I am that Wemby's not going to have a sophomore slump, I'll say I'd be like I'd be like 8 out of 10 confident he's not going to have one. But at the same time, like, and I'm someone who called Wemby Defensive Player of the Year as a rookie. I think he's still going to be Defensive Player of the Year. I think regardless of what happens, Victor Wembanyama is going to be Defensive Player of the Year. He's going to lead the league in blocks. He's going to scare the bejesus out of teams on the defensive end. So even if it turns out that, okay, maybe the offense isn't quite there yet and he's like a 22-point per game scorer, he's still going to be one of the best 15 players in the NBA because, well, he's going to be the most impactful defensive player in the entire league, and that is a near certainty. So yeah, that is pretty much it, lads. That's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.